Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. My name is Matt Florjancic. And I am here for the call of tonight's women's soccer game against the Otterbein Cardinals. Otterbein comes in with a record of 7-4-2. They are 3-2-1 away from home, and they are 3-1-1 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. Baldwin Wallace comes in with a 9-6 overall record. They are 4-3 here at Tressel Field. They are 4-2 in Ohio Athletic Conference play and 2-1 in home conference games.
At home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
Taking a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the Otterbein Cardinals at forward, a 5'7" junior from Newark, Ohio, number 5, Megan Summers. At midfield, a 5'8" senior from Columbus and Thomas Worthington High School, number 6, Mackenzie Peak. On defense, a 5'6" junior from Westerville and Olentangy Orange High School, number 8, Peyton Kaufman. On defense, a 5'7" junior from Lewis Center in Olentangy Orange High School, number 14, Sierra Clemens. At midfield, a 5'4" sophomore from Chesterland and West Geauga High School, number 18, Bailey Zanella. At midfield, a 5'4" freshman from Lewis Center and Olentangy High School, number 19, Cameron Earl. On defense, a 5'4" sophomore from Chesterland and West Geauga, number 20, Aubrey Zanella. On defense, a 5'2" junior from Medina Highland High School, number 21, Kaylee Holtz. At forward, a 5'3" junior from Grove City, number 23, Angeli Anderson. At midfield, a 5'7" sophomore from Wellington, number 31, Lauren Alley. And in goal, a 5'8" freshman from Lewis Center and Olentangy High School, number 36, Ella Schwertfager. Starting it off for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets, on defense, a 5'6" junior from Wadsworth, number 4, Anna Wolfinger. On defense, a 5'7" freshman from Blacklick, Ohio, and Columbus Bishop Hartley, number 5, Carly Behringer. At forward, a 5'6" sophomore from Highland, number 6, Ella Barth. At forward, a 5'6" junior from North Royalton, number 7, Sydney Rice. At midfield, a 5'6" junior from Fairlawn and Copley High School, number 8, Jillian Neal. On defense, a 5'8" junior from Sandusky and St. Mary Central Catholic High School, number 10, Paige Ackerman. At forward, a 5'8" senior from Parma Heights and Valley Forge High School, number 18, Casey Goluboff. At midfield, a 5'5" senior from Pickerington North High School, number 19, Brandy Philippi. At midfield, a 5-foot senior from Macomb, Michigan and Dakota High School, number 25, Maddie Farrell. At forward, a 5'4" sophomore from Blacklick, Ohio, and again, Hannah Lincoln High School, number 37, Natalie Stewart. And in goal, a 5'7" sophomore from Lewis Center, Olentangy High School, number 39, Katie Scott. The Yellow Jackets start with possession, and it was last touched by the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. The Yellow Jackets led by Coach Jim Woitkin. The Cardinals led by Coach Brandon Coons. Throw-in coming up for the Cardinals near midfield. It is controlled by the Yellow Jackets. Stewart working with Neal to get the ball near midfield. Now Stewart crosses it, looking for Sydney Rice. It gets sent back to Stewart, and last touch by Stewart. There'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals, and that's Aubrey Zanella handling the throw-in. She finds Summers, and Summers sends it over to Peak, who gives it back to Aubrey Zanella with a huge crossing pass to get the ball in the middle of the field. It's kicked out by Ella Barth. Stewart tracks it down for the Yellow Jackets. She sent it past Wolfinger. Now Wolfinger gets it back, sending it up near midfield to Maddie Farrell, who tried to hit Stewart with a touch pass. Stewart was going right. The ball went left. Throw in for Otterbein. It's Aubrey Zanella again throwing it in and driving it down the left side of the field is Cameron Earl. It goes out of bounds along the goal line. Last touch by the Cardinals. It'll be a goal kick for Katie Scott. She quickly sends it over to Ella Barth on the right side of the field near sideline. Barth right foots it up to midfield where Sydney Rice is giving a good battle for it and hands it to Maddie Farrell. Farrell's pass to Stewart is headed away by one of the Cardinals, and it's controlled by Lauren Alley. Alley sends it back to her defensive teammates, and picking it up is Peyton Kaufman. Kaufman moves it up to Bailey Zanella. Now Paige Ackerman steps up for the Yellow Jackets and takes it away. Ackerman across midfield over to Stewart right side. Stewart trying to keep it in her possession, unable to do so, but she sends it back to a teammate. Now tracking it down is Carly Behringer. And it is last touched out of bounds by the Cardinals. It'll be a throw-in from the corner, and the Yellow Jackets have to go the length of the field on this possession if they want to get a shot on goal. Throw-in goes the way of the Cardinals. Good battle now for it, and the Yellow Jackets will take it away. It's Maddie Farrell hustling up the field. She's going to get it to Natalie Stewart. Stewart in a foot race for the ball, and last touch by the Cardinals. Good job by Aubrey Zanella to get back for Otterbein to prevent Stewart from getting a clean lane towards the ball. Wolfinger to throw it in for the Yellow Jackets. She gets it to Sydney Rice, who gives it back to Wolfinger. Now over to Jillian Neal. She puts it towards the box. Maddie Farrell redirects it, and it's scooped up by Schwertfeger. Schwertfeger with the punt gets it to midfield where Jillian Neal heads it back to Beringer. It's taken away by Cameron Earl, and Earl has it taken away from her. The Yellow Jackets can't possess it, however. It's heading towards the sideline, and it'll be last touched by the Cardinals. It'll be a throw-in for the Jackets. Or it'll be, the official. It'll whistle a violation. It'll be a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. And it looks like Paige Ackerman is teeing it up at the 30-yard line. It's a good 80 yards away from the goal. She puts the right foot into it, sends it down to the opposite 28-yard line where Maddie Farrell loses a jump ball, and Otterbein takes it away. Farrell is slow to get up. Jillian Neal steps up from her midfield position and sends it back towards Otterbein's goal, trying to make the Cardinals work a little harder to get the ball up the field. Now Ackerman steps up in a passing lane and forces Otterbein to take a step back before they regroup. The Yellow Jackets and Cardinals playing a very physical contest. We're only 5 minutes in, but both teams getting some really intense play out of their defensive units. Yet to see a shot on net. The ball goes out of bounds, last touch. Yellow Jackets. So Otterbein will get the first corner of the evening. It's sent into the box. Two Cardinals overrun it. Barth battles for it. She clears it out of the box. It's controlled by Kaufman. She sends it in, and Katie Scott bats it up in the air to herself for the save. Good job by Scott to keep that out of the net. She gets it near midfield where it's headed back toward her goal by one of the Cardinals. Now Beringer will send it up to midfield. One of the Yellow Jackets leaves it for Sydney Rice, and Rice is going to win a foot race to the ball. It's kicked out of bounds by Otterbein. But they're going to say it was last touched by Sydney Rice. It'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. He's headed out of bounds by one of the Yellow Jackets, and it will be another throw-in for the Cardinals. Farrell rushes in, and she kicks it away from the Cardinals. A little bit of a collision there, and it looks like one of the Cardinals is going to be whistled for a foul. So that will give the Yellow Jackets a free kick, and Farrell's trying to jog off whatever she's dealing with right now. A little bit of a hitch and to get along there, but she's staying in so far. Free kick from the 45, makes it all the way to the top of the box. Otterbein gets to clear. Wolfinger's going to try to track it down for the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be Beringer who gets close, and she lets it roll out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and Anna Wolfinger will handle that. Wolfinger with the toss into Farrell. It goes off of Farrell's leg, out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Cardinals, and Aubrey Zanella will handle that. Looking for a teammate. It's headed by Summers towards the goal, and now it'll go out of bounds along the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott charges into it with the right foot. It's headed away by one of the Cardinals, but Maddie Farrell is there to send it over to Natalie Stewart. Now one of the Cardinals sends it back at the Yellow Jackets. That's Aubrey Zanella, but it goes out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger will handle it. She gets it to Stewart. Stewart gives it right back to her. Wolfinger tries to send it up near midfield. It's taken away by Bailey Zanella. Wolfinger will get it back up to Jillian Neal, now to Stewart. Stewart back to Neal. Neal over to Philippi, who slips it to Sydney Rice across midfield. Rice setting up a teammate on the left side. Good move by the Yellow Jackets to keep possession of the ball. Right-footed shot. trying to be redirected by Maddie Farrell, but she is whistled for the offsides as she was behind all the Otterbein defenders. That's a free kick for the Cardinals. And Schwertfeger sends it up near midfield where it is knocked out of bounds by one of the Yellow Jackets. Throw in by Cameron Earl. She's looking for a teammate. It looks like Otterbein's going to get another corner out of this. And they will, as Beringer heads it out of bounds.
Corner kick routed on by number 23 in Julie Anderson.
Anderson with the corner kick. It goes through the box, and it's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Casey Goluboff battling for it. The Cardinals take it back, and now they're working against Paige Ackerman. Goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Cardinals. It's headed out by Ella Barth. Sent back into the box by one of the Cardinals. Anna Wolfinger sends it out. Now Katie Scott gets the save as a left-footed kicker for the Cardinals. Put it on net. Scott sends it out to about the 40-yard line where Brandy Philippi battles for the ball. Over to Ella Barth. Ella Barth sends it all the way back to Katie Scott. Scott gets the ball near midfield when it's taken away by the Cardinals. Earl working against Wolfinger, and Wolfinger forces it out of bounds off of the Cardinals. It's a throw-in for her. She gets it up to Natalie Stewart. Then Neal lofts it towards midfield where Sydney Rice battles for it, and Otterbein takes it away out of bounds off of the Cardinals. Throw-in for Anna Wolfinger. Wolfinger gets it into Farrell, and she'll get it right back before lofting it down the field. Rice off of her shoulder has it taken away very briefly by the Cardinals before Maddie Farrell wrestles it away and slips it up to Stewart. Stewart hustling for it, and it'll be last touched by her as it goes out of bounds off of the goal line. So that will be a goal kick for the Cardinals. 12 minutes into this one, no score yet. I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger.
3 sets to 0. The team is back in action on Wednesday, October 26th, when it'll host an OAC match against Ohio Northern University at 7.
Battled 4-1 in midfield by Lauren Alley. Alley gets past Neal, now charges towards the box. She gets it taken away as Maddie Farrell steps up and gets the ball away. She tries to get the pass to Sydney Rice, and it was battered away by one of the Cardinals. Otterbein keeps it in bounds, sending it down the field, and it'll roll out around the 15-yard line. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and it's Anna Wolfinger, but she has it headed away by Mackenzie Peak, and it stays in bounds all the way to the flag stick before it goes left of the stick. So the Yellow Jackets will get a throw-in from pretty much the length of the field. Wolfinger gets it into Neal. Neal fighting for it. Up to Sydney Rice. Rice trying to get a step on Sierra Clemens, unable to do so. It's controlled now by Lauren Alley. Alley sends it over to Bailey Zanella. Right-footed attempt, almost gets it in the box, but Paige Ackerman denies it. Earl will track it down. Left-footed attempt is scooped up by Katie Scott and run out to the top of the box where she runs it, or rather wraps a throw down the field to Natalie Stewart. Now Maddie Farrell battles for it, gets it to Sydney Rice. Rice working against 3 Cardinals, has it taken away. Now she's battling for possession back. Good work by Aubrey Zanella right there to keep it away from Sydney Rice. Ackerman took it away for the Yellow Jackets, but then Lauren Alley took it right back. She slips a pass to Summers. Summers with the right foot, and it goes out of bounds along the goal line. This last touch by the Yellow Jackets, according to the officials. They will give the Cardinals their 3rd corner of the first half. Good corner. Gets past one of the Cardinals. Not the second. Katie Scott redirects the deflection. Out of bounds and over the goal, so the Cardinals will get another corner. Anderson with a great feed. It's headed out by one of the Yellow Jackets. Holding it in was Aubrey Zanella, and she sent it out next to the goal. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. 29-18 to go here in the first half, and we are scoreless at Tressel Field inside the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, where the Yellow Jackets are hosting the Otterbein Cardinals in a key Ohio Athletic Conference women's soccer game tonight. Otterbein takes it away from the takes it away from the Yellow Jackets, but they get it right back after a brief moment of losing possession. Left-footed attempt is scooped up by Katie Scott. And again, she runs it to the top of the box and punts it near midfield, where Natalie Stewart heads it to a teammate. Battling for the ball was Brandy Philippi. And we have a collision at the 40-yard line. And we have a Cardinal who was down and able to get back up. And now we have a Yellow Jacket who is down and will need to be attended to. We're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the first half here between the Baldwin Wallace and Otterbein women's soccer teams at Tressel Field here on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Jillian Neal was your injured Yellow Jacket, and she will head to the bench for some medical attention. Able to get up off the field under her own power and jog off, so that's always a good sign. Bella Regal checks in. It's a free kick for Otterbein at the 41. It's Peyton Kaufman putting it towards the net. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be another corner as it was headed out by the Yellow Jackets along the goal line. And Julie Anderson with the corner kick. She right foots it into the box. It's headed out of bounds by one of her Cardinals teammates. Be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. BW comes in on quite the roll. They have won 4 straight overall and in the Ohio Athletic Conference. They have been successful at Wilmington, home against John Carroll and Muskingum, and then at Heidelberg on Wednesday. Otterbein on a hot streak as well after tying Ohio Northern in a scoreless affair on October 5th. They have traveled to Muskingum and won 3-0, beaten Heidelberg at home 1-0, and then beat John Carroll on the road 1-0 on Wednesday. Yellow Jackets force it away momentarily before Lauren Alley takes it back. Alley kicks it over to Anderson on the left side. Anderson feeds it into the box. Bella Regal stepping up and taking it away. Maddie Farrell tracks it down up to Mary Litzinger, the reigning Ohio Athletic Conference Women's Soccer Offensive Player of the Week. Sent out of bounds along the goal line by the Cardinals. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Litzinger had quite the week last week as the freshman forward/midfielder had a pair of 2-goal games. Beringer sends it up to Farrell. Farrell at midfield, pushes it down where the Cardinals will track it down at about the 20-yard line. Now Anderson fighting to hold possession of the ball, and the Yellow Jackets making that quite difficult. Beringer battles for the ball, and she'll win it. Get it to Brandy Philippi, now trying to get it to Litzinger again, nothing doing. Now Sydney Rice will battle 2 Cardinals for it before it is almost sent out of bounds. Now it will be sent out of bounds by Mary Litzinger. It's a throw-in for the Cardinals. It's headed away by Philippi, now headed by Farrell. Rice trying to track it down. Farrell will keep it and send it up to Goluboff, who gives it to Rice. Rice with a right foot, and it is on net, forcing Schwertfeger to make the save. It's really the Yellow Jackets' first offensive opportunity tonight, and we're 20 minutes into the match now. The Yellow Jackets will head it away near midfield. Big collision. The ball was held by Otterbein. The possession, I should say, was held by Otterbein, but the official called a foul, so it'll be a free kick for the Yellow Jackets.
By a final score of 4-0. The team is back in action on Wednesday, October 26th, when it hosts an OAC game against Ohio Northern University at 7 o'clock.
Paige Ackerman will handle the free kick from the 39, and she sends it all the way down to the opposite 20, where Goluboff has it taken away. Ackerman steps up, trying to challenge Summers for the ball. It's lofted down the right side of the field. The Yellow Jackets giving chase, and it'll be last touched by the Cardinals. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. A couple of substitutions for BW. Casey Goluboff and Bella Regal will check out.
Serving into the game for Baldwin Wallace, number 2, Bailey Hall, and number 8, Jillian Neal.
Bailey Hall checks in for her first action, and Jillian Neal, it's good to see her back after a collision earlier in the first half, forced her to the sideline. The ball is kicked out, nearly kicked out by Otterbein, but it's held by the Yellow Jackets. Farrell gets pushed to the turf by Peak, and right in front of the official. She saw it, called it, and will give the Yellow Jackets a free kick. Paige Ackerman will set up for it. It's about 50 yards out from goal. She puts her right foot into it, gets it into the box. A couple of the Yellow Jackets with an opportunity at the ball, but they're going to be whistled for a foul. And that will give possession back to Otterbein, and there will be a free kick for the Cardinals. Or goal kick for the Cardinals, rather. Schwertfeger sends it up the field, but Brandy Philippi is there to take it away for the Yellow Jackets. Hall had a chance at it, but lost her footing twice, and Otterbein took it away. Now Ella Barth fights for and wins possession of the ball. Gives it back to Ackerman. She'll send it across midfield where it's headed back at her by one of the Cardinals. Now Beringer gets in the act and sends it up to Farrell. Gets to Sydney Rice, and she's looking for Hall up the left sideline. It wasn't there as one of the Cardinals was able to deflect it. And now one of the Yellow Jackets steps up and takes it right back before sending it downfield. Right-footed kick gets beyond the reach of the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott comes out of her net, and she comes to the top of the box where she dives on the ball to prevent Otterbein from getting a shot. She sends it down the field where Jillian Neal fights for it. Mary Litzinger last to touch. Otterbein with the throw-in. And it'll be Aubrey Zanella handling the throw-in after a substitution. Two substitutions, one for the Cardinals. Grace Weidenheimer Hammer checks in, and Haley Schwade checks in for the Yellow Jackets. It's taken away by Schwade, who sends it to Barth. Barth over to Maddie Farrell. It was a little too tall for Farrell when the Cardinals took it away. Now Philippi trying to battle for the ball before the Cardinals can send it towards the goal, and it'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Scott's kick is eventually controlled by the Cardinals on their side of midfield. Now Jillian Neal fights for it and wins that battle, slipping a pass over to Philippi. Now Philippi has to battle for it. It's controlled now by Aubrey Zanella, who sends it down, Beringer with the header. It's taken away by the Cardinals once again. Sent toward the box by Otterbein, where Katie Scott will scoop it up. She'll roll it over to Beringer. Beringer up to Maddie Farrell. Farrell over to Bailey Hall. Hall to Sydney Rice. Rice overruns it. It's controlled by the Cardinals. They'll send it towards their goalkeeper, Schwertfeger, and she will tee it up to reset. As Peyton Kaufman boots it down the field, but it's headed away by Ella Barth up to Bailey Hall. Hall gets a step on a defender, left foots a shot into the box, and it is kicked out of bounds by Otterbein. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Barth throws it in. It's controlled by Jillian Neal. She lofts it into the box for Litzinger. It's taken away by the Cardinals. And now Schwade steps up and takes it right back for the Yellow Jackets. Over to Litzinger. Change of direction. Gets her an opportunity. And it will go out of bounds. Last touch by the Cardinals after Litzinger's shot. And that will result in BW's first corner of the day. Mary Litzinger will do the honors on this corner. She right foots it into the side of the net, and that will result in a goal kick for the Cardinals. 18-14 to go here in the first half. We are scoreless between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and Otterbein Cardinals. Both teams look to extend long winning streaks. The Cardinals have won 3 straight after a tie with Ohio Northern on October 5th. BW has won 4 straight, including 2 at home. 4-1 over John Carroll on October 12th, and 3-0 over Muskingum on October 15th. ball is battled for and controlled by the Yellow Jackets. It's Paige Ackerman. Send it over to Katie Scott. Scott with a beautiful kick to get it near midfield where it's headed away by the Cardinals, but then taken right back by Jillian Neal. She'll give it to Mary Litzinger, who gives it right back to Neal. Neal left foots it over to Bailey Hall across the field. Hall working to get a step on Kaylee Holtz, and she will control it. It goes into the box off of an Otterbein player. Farrell with a couple of kicks at it. Couldn't send it on net, and it's taken away eventually by Anderson near midfield. Anderson has it taken away by Jillian Neal over to Brandy Philippi, who sends it to Maddie Farrell. Farrell left a long lead pass for Sydney Rice, where it was kicked away by Clemens, and it goes out of bounds right in front of Otterbein's bench. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets.
The football team was in action earlier this afternoon. They defeated Otterbein University by a final score of 35-14.
Maddie Farrell will send it down the field. Rice does not track it down. And there will be a foul on the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a free kick for Otterbein just shy of midfield. 16:10 on a running first half clock. Otterbein with a free kick. Get it down the field momentarily, but the Yellow Jackets are there to take it away. Hall trying to find Rice with a pass. It goes long. Now it's headed back by Ella Barth. And Barth to come out and challenge one of the Cardinals, forcing a pass. Gets over to Weidenhammer. Now Ackerman steps up. She loses a handle on it. But Katie Scott runs and tracks it down with a dive to keep the Cardinals from maintaining possession in the box. And Scott will run it to the top of the box before punting it away with the right foot and getting it to the 45-yard line to Litzinger. But Weidenhammer takes it away before Sydney Rice can control it right around midfield. Over to Maddie Farrell. Farrell to Litzinger. Litzinger with a left-footed kick to the top of the box, where it is taken away by the Cardinals. Jillian Neal now battles for it near midfield up to Maddie Farrell. Farrell sends it over to Brandy Philippi, now to Bailey Hall. One-touch pass to Ella Barth. Barth change of direction, sends it over to Jillian Neal. Neal right foots it near the box. Maddie Farrell over to Sydney Rice. Sydney on the deflection has it roll in on net, but it's scooped up by Schwertfeger for the save. That'll keep the game scoreless with 14:16 to go in the first half. Schwertfeger's punt comes down right at midfield, where it's overrun by players from both teams before Otterbein can control it. Now Jillian Neal will take it away off of a deflection. Neal up to Sydney Rice. Rice over to Beringer. Beringer to Schwade. Over to Philippi. Now back up to Rice across midfield. Rice sends it over to Jillian Neal with the right foot. It's headed away by one of the Cardinals. Back to Sydney Rice, however. Rice off the left side of the field over to Bailey Hall. Hall working it into the box. Has it kicked out by one of the Cardinals. And it should result in a corner, but the official calls a deflection off of BW. And that'll result in a goal kick for the Cardinals. Schwertfeger to take it. She sends a short kick to the right of her goal to a teammate. And then it goes out of bounds, deflected off of the Cardinals. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Mudge checks in for the Yellow Jackets. Mudge has 2 goals and 4 points on the season. She's taken 14 shots. The Yellow Jackets have it sent back to midfield by the Cardinals, where Philippi will have to track it down, giving it to Ackerman. Ackerman over to Beringer. Beringer with the right foot sends it up to Philippi, who has to track it down after a deflection. Now to Ackerman. Ackerman up to Barth. Barth with a back kick that goes out of bounds in front of Otterbein's bench. It's a throw-in for the Cardinals. Barth heads it away from one of the Cardinals over to Jillian Neal. They're trying to get it to Sydney Rice, and it'll be a foul called on one of the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be a free kick from just on the other side of midfield. Sent into the box where Paige Ackerman is able to head it out. And tracking it down is Sydney Mudge. Up to Sydney Rice, who is wiped out by one of the Cardinals. Looks like Clemens got her. Now Mudge working it up the right side of the field. Rice back up on her feet, running down the field. That's a good sign. Over to Maddie Farrell now. Farrell back to Sydney Rice. Rice dribbling it into the box. Gets around 2 defenders before she has it taken away. Good move right there by Rice before one of the Cardinals stepped up and took it away from her one-on-one. It was sent down the field toward Earl, but Haley Schwade will take it away for the Yellow Jackets. It'll get sent over to Paige Ackerman. Ackerman left foots it to Mary Litzinger. Over to Ella Barth now on the left side of the field. Now to Maddie Farrell. Farrell looking for Rice on the lead pass. It's taken away by the Cardinals. Ackerman steps up to keep it on her side, the Cardinals side of midfield, but she is whistled for the foul. Free kick for the Cardinals. Mackenzie Peak will take it for Otterbein. Neal steps up and deflects it out of bounds. It should be a throw-in for the Cardinals, deep in Yellow Jacket territory. 10 minutes exactly to go on a running first-half clock. We are scoreless here between the Otterbein Cardinals and the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Otterbein with a throw-in along the near sideline. And it'll be handled after a substitution. Earl will check out. Cammie McCulty, a freshman forward from Lewis Center, checks in. It's controlled by the Yellow Jackets. That'll be Brandy Philippi up to Sydney Rice. Rice over to Litzinger. Litzinger to Barth. Left a long lead pass for her, and it goes out of bounds right in front of Otterbein's bench. Barth was hard charging up the sideline and didn't have too many Cardinals to have to beat. But the lead pass just a little bit too long. Paige Ackerman battling for the ball, but it's won by Otterbein. And it's sent along the sideline. It stays in somehow, but now it goes out. And that will be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Substitution. Bella Rigo comes back in. Maddie Farrell checks out momentarily. When we have this opportunity, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno at OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Throw in for the Cardinals on the far sideline. And it will be controlled momentarily by the Cardinals before the Yellow Jackets force it out closer to midfield. Now Otterbein steps up and again takes possession of the ball. Long lead pass goes out of bounds. It'll result in a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott to tee it up near the top of the box, and it gets past Jillian Neal, and now it'll be battled for Bella Regal, pushing one of the Cardinals to move the ball up the field. It'll be taken away by the Yellow Jackets. It's Litzinger, and she sends it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals, it looks like. Or do we? No, we have an injured Cardinal. And the official throws up the sign to stop the clock with 6:34 to go here in the first half. We are scoreless as Otterbein battles BW. Play is blown in, and it's a throw-in by Otterbein. And out of respect for the Yellow Jackets sending it out of bounds so the injured player could get attended to, Otterbein throws it right to a BW player. Stepped up and taken away by Aubrey Zanella. Zanella up the sideline to Ava Burns, who's checked in. Burns looking for a left-footed shot. It's kicked out of bounds by Beringer, and that will result in a goal, or rather a corner kick for the Cardinals.
Corner kick for Otterbein by number 23, Julie Anderson.
Anderson handles the corners for the Cardinals, and her shot gets all the way through the box before Mary Litzinger sends it out of bounds. That will result in a throw-in for the Cardinals. They will briefly control it before Paige Ackerman sends it out of the box. Now a big right-footed shot is blocked by Mary Litzinger. Peak takes it away, but then gives it right to Schwade. Schwade to Beringer. Beringer keeps it in. Slips it to midfield, but it's taken away by Aubrey Zanella. Up to Bruns, excuse me. And that shot will be deflected off of the Yellow Jackets and will dribble right to Katie Scott, who will run it to the top of the box. Scott with the right-footed punt down the field. It skips past Litzinger, sent back at the Yellow Jackets by the Cardinals. Now Brandy Philippi battles for and loses possession of the ball. Slip pass goes to Anderson. Anderson puts it lower right corner.
Goal Cardinals by number 23, Julie Anderson. Assisted by number 16, Ava Bruns.
Bruns picks up the assist on Otterbein's tally. They lead the Yellow Jackets 1-0 with 4:35 to go here in the first half. BW gets the kickoff following the goal. Ackerman will control it left side. Send it up the field with the left foot, and it's kicked into the Yellow Jacket bench by one of the Cardinals. Ella Barth will handle the throw-in. And it will be kicked out of bounds again by the Cardinals. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. And once again, Ella Barth will be handling it. She was looking for Bella Regal. It was knocked away by one of the Cardinals. Ackerman battling hard for the ball, and she draws a foul against one of the Cardinals. It'll be a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. Ackerman from the 45 gets it all the way to the 15. It's headed out by Mudge. Mudge battling hard to keep it inbounds in the box. Out to Litzinger, left footer across the field, and it is controlled by Jillian Neal. Neal battles for it, and it is sent away to Schwade, who was looking for Mudge in the middle of the field. Now it gets kicked out of bounds by one of the Cardinals. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. The throw-in goes to Sydney Rice. Left-footed shot is denied by Swertfager. Swertfager with the punt gets the ball to bounce across midfield, where Beringer steps up and heads it down to Sydney Mudge. Mudge back to Schwade. Back to Beringer. Beringer across the field to Ackerman. Ackerman sends it across midfield to Litzinger. It's headed away by one of the Cardinals. Ackerman sends it right back at Otterbein, sending it right over the bench. And that'll result in an Otterbein throw-in once the ball can be tracked down. Litzinger battling hard along that sideline to keep the ball and keep possession of the ball, or gain possession, I should say. And she forced it out of bounds off of one of the Cardinals. Rather, one of the officials steps in and says, no, it's a free kick, not a throw-in. And Ella Barth will take it, send it in. Sydney Rice couldn't jump high enough to get it, and it'll be knocked out of bounds by the Cardinals. Schwade will throw it in to Jillian Neal. Neal has it taken away by Lauren Alley. And again, it's sent out by Alley. Last touched by the Cardinals, so it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Lead pass from Rice to Mudge. Sydney to Sydney. And now Mudge gets called for a foul in the box. It'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. We approach the 1 minute mark here in the first half. Peak sends it across midfield where Schwade will take possession over to Beringer. Beringer lofts it down the field to Mudge. Neal heads it down the field, and it goes out of bounds off of the Otterbein Cardinals. Throw in from Schwade to Rice, and it bounced over her shoulder and sent away across midfield by one of the Cardinals. Beringer checks it down, and she has a collision with Ava Bruns, and that'll be a foul on Bruns. Schwade with a free kick, hurrying as she gets it across midfield. Jillian Neal now will have to track it down. Unable to do so, but Schwade gets it back for the Yellow Jackets to Neal across midfield. She slips a pass to Philippi. Philippi looking for Mudge, who had a step on her defender, but that defender then stepped up in the box and prevented a shot, or rather a pass from getting down the field. Neal sends it towards Otterbein's goal, where Peak will run out the first half clock with a kick down the field. That'll bring us to the end of the first half, where the Otterbein Cardinals lead the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets by a 1-0 count. We're going to step aside for a break, and when we come back, we'll have second half action for you here from Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Thanks for listening on BWYellowJackets.com. Welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. We are set to get the second half underway between the Otterbein Cardinals and Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Otterbein starts off with possession of the ball here in the second half, and they will be going from left to right across your computer screens. The Yellow Jackets will go right to left. Otterbein in the road red uniforms with white numerals and lettering and gold trim. The Yellow Jackets in their home whites with brown numerals and lettering and gold trim around each. The Jackets will take it away. It's Jillian Neal who takes it, but the Cardinals will get it right back as Aubrey Zanella takes it away. She sends it to Earl down the left side. Earl with the left footer. It goes all the way through the box and all the way across the field. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. BW with some work to do here in the second half. They have to score 1 to equalize it, 2 to take a lead. Kaufman sending it up the field, where Jillian Neal will take it away, send it up to Sydney Rice. Rice with the right-footed shot, looking for Litzinger, darting up the right sideline, and Litzinger will catch up to it, but right as it goes out of bounds, it'll be a goal kick for the Cardinals. Litzinger getting a talking to from the officials. There was a collision at the end of the play. And actually, it won't be a goal kick. They're going to call an infraction against Litzinger. So it'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. And they're kicking from deep in their own territory. Not an enviable position. But it's sent out near the 40-yard line before the Yellow Jackets can regroup and take it away. Golubov loses a handle on it, and it's tracked down by the Cardinals. Anderson handles it on the near sideline, sends it up the field to Summers. Summers battling Paige Ackerman, deflects off of Ackerman over to Ella Barth. Barth up to Maddie Farrell. Farrell working the left sideline. Keeps it inbounds, somehow gets past 2 defenders, doesn't get past a third. Big collision. It'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. Maddie Farrell there to kick it away. Golubov battles for it. Anderson there to take it. Now Jillian Neal fights for it. Swings it back to Ella Barth. Barth with the right foot trying to pass it to Golubov. It's touched out of bounds by the Cardinals. Throw in for Ella Barth and the Yellow Jackets. She lofts it to Golubov. Golubov over to Brandy Philippi. Golubov hits the deck after a collision with one of the Cardinals. Wolfinger sends it up to Litzinger, but a little bit too strong on the lead, and that will result in a throw-in for Otterbein. The throw-in is headed away by Jillian Neal. Neal over to Philippi. Now to Sydney Rice. Rice to Litzinger. Litzinger gets a step on one defender, dribbles past another, looking to get it through a third. Denied one way, sends it back to a teammate, and it goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. Quick throw in by Otterbein. And it will be tracked down by Wolfinger, who gets it over to Beringer. And back to Katie Scott, who right foots the ball down the field. Barth will take it across midfield for the Yellow Jackets, change direction, and right foot the ball near the box. A little too strong on the lead pass, goes out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a goal kick for the Cardinals. 4.5 minutes gone here in the second half. Otterbein leads 1-0. And about the world's shortest goal kick is Swertfager sends it over to her right for Mackenzie Peak. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. It's a throw-in a free kick off of a foul for Otterbein. Goluboff battles for it just on the BW side of midfield. Over to Neal, not a Farrell. Farrell with the touch pass to Philippi. Philippi over to Sydney Rice. Rice crosses the field to Wolfinger. Wolfinger back to Behringer. Behringer up to Neal. Neal with a slip pass looking for Litzinger. It was kicked out of bounds just across midfield by the Cardinals. Be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger will handle that responsibility. Gets it over to Jillian Neal. Neal has it kicked away by one of the Cardinals, and the officials halt play to whistle a foul against the Cardinals. So it'll be a throw-in, or rather a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. And Paige Ackerman will tee it up at about the 43-yard line. So 53 yards away from the goal. Ackerman with the right-footed kick sends it into the box. It's headed out by one of the Cardinals. And then Neal goes to head it back in, and a big collision. We have a timeout. Stoppage in play. One of the Cardinals is down. She's back up, but she took a little bit of a hit there on the header attempt. Play was stopped with 38-38 to go in the second half. Otterbein with a 1-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets. And Morgan Summers, the junior forward from Newark, will walk towards the Otterbein sideline under her own power. Always a good thing to see. Free kick coming up for the Cardinals. It's sent across midfield where Lauren Alley will battle for it along the sideline. Alley tries to slip it to a teammate. It'll get all the way to Katie Scott, who will scoop it up. And Scott will punt it all the way across midfield where it's headed away by the Cardinals. And then to Sydney Rice, who's trying to get it to Goluboff, goes past her. Now Rice takes it away with the right foot, but has it taken right back away from her. And now Earl possessed it very briefly before it gets over to Litzinger, courtesy of Behringer. Otterbein takes it away once again, gets it across midfield, and they are charging. Good lead pass to Earl. Earl with a shot, and Earl with a goal. Anderson slipped her a great pass, and Earl put it right into the bottom right corner of the net for goal number 2 for the Cardinals. That doubles Otterbein's lead to 2-0 with 37-39 to go here in the second half, and the Yellow Jackets have a whole lot of work to do to try and get back into this one. Schwade will check in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger will check out. Yellow Jackets kick it off. It's Sidney Rice with the ball over to Litzinger. Litzinger gets a step on one defender, gets into the box, left foot's a shot off of Otterbein. It goes out of bounds. It'll be a corner for the Yellow Jackets. Just one corner in that first half for BW. See if they can try and cut the deficit here with Litzinger teeing it up for the corner. She charges and puts the left foot into it. It's headed out by Otterbein. Ackerman's there. She whiffs on the kick, and it's sent away by Otterbein. Beringer will control it near midfield. She recycles it over to Litzinger. Litzinger trying a lead pass, and Otterbein stepped in and broke it up and sent it down the field before the Yellow Jackets put it out of bounds. So it's a throw-in for the Cardinals. It's headed down the field where Beringer will look to get it to Schwade. And the Yellow Jackets will be whistled for a foul. And it will be set up roughly at the 35-yard line for Otterbein on the free kick. Lead pass is a good one. BW with the deflection out of bounds over the goal. It'll be a corner for the Cardinals, and Anderson will take it.
Corner kick for Otterbein by number 23, Angeli Anderson.
Angeli Anderson puts the right foot into it, and it's knocked away by Katie Scott. It's headed back towards her net where Scott will one-hand it, dribble it out before punting it away, and she'll get it across midfield where it is headed back right towards the Yellow Jacket net. Beringer trying to get a handle on it. Ackerman gets it away from the net. Anderson loses a handle on it, but keeps it in bounds. Tries to get it to Summers, who is back in after a collision with Jillian Neal earlier in this half. It's a throw-in for the Cardinals. Otterbein keeps it in the box before Golubov can step up and kick it away to Sidney Rice. Now Clemens takes it away again for Otterbein. Schwade making Allie work before Allie can get a pass to a teammate. Now right-footed kick over to Earl. She was looking for goal number 2 on the day, and it is denied by Katie Scott. Good work by Scott right there to keep it at just a 2-goal deficit. Free kick for the Yellow Jackets, just shy of midfield. Is by Ackerman. Now Philippi sends it in towards the net where it is walked out by Otterbein keeper Ella Swertfager. Now she'll scoop it up and punt it down the field. Across midfield, it gets away from Philippi. Now Ackerman trying to track it down with Summers. Good battle there. Summers controls it. Now Ackerman will get position and take it away. Good work by both young ladies on the challenge. The Yellow Jackets will kick it out of bounds, and it will result in another corner for Otterbein.
Corner kick Otterbein by number 23, Angeli Anderson.
Anderson's corner gets into the box. Header goes off of the football upright, out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets.
Subbing into the game Jackets, number 13, Sydney Mudge.
Sydney Mudge is back for the Yellow Jackets.
The women's golf team closes out the fall portion of its schedule on Sunday, October 30th, when it hosts the BW Fall Invitational at the Valley of the Eagles Golf Club in Elyria.
Scott gets it up the field to Neal and back to Beringer, who will send it down. Sydney Rice battling for the ball right at the midfield stripe, but she'll control it. She lofts a pass for Golubov, and it gets away from her before it's scooped up by Otterbein keeper Ella Swertfager. Swertfager with the punt gets it toward midfield, where Schwade will head it over to Jillian Neal. Now back to Beringer. Beringer lofts it down the right sideline before Otterbein can kick it away very momentarily. Now the Yellow Jackets retake possession. It's Schwade over to Farrell. Farrell to Neal. Neal with a right-footed pass to Sydney Rice. Rice left side to Ella Barth. Barth gets back to the middle of the field. Across to Schwade. Schwade with a right-footed rocket, and it goes to the right of the net. Good-looking shot, just a little bit off the mark for the Yellow Jackets. Swertfager will tee up the goal kick. And she sends it just shy of midfield where Jillian Neal heads it over to Farrell. Farrell to Mudge, left it too long. Throw in for Otterbein. 30 minutes and 45 seconds to go here in the second half. Otterbein holding a 2-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets, looking to push their win streak to 4 straight. The Yellow Jackets looking to make it 5 in a row in OAC play. Goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. Swertfager with the right-footed kick. Philippi battles for it, and it gets to Sydney Rice off a deflection. Rice sends it up the field to Mudge. Mudge with a right footer trying for the crossing pass to Golubov. It's taken away by the Cardinals. Now Schwade steps up, takes it right back for the Yellow Jackets. Gets it to Sydney Rice. Rice looking for a teammate in the box. It was taken away again by the Cardinals. Quick touch pass taken away by Beringer. And then Otterbein took it right back as it crossed midfield. Summers sets it down all the way into the box where Katie Scott scoops it up, rolls it over to Beringer. Beringer over to Ackerman. Ackerman with the right foot. Up to Sydney Rice. Now over to Sydney Mudge. Mudge trying to create some space, unable to do so, and she will be whistled for a foul. It'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. While we have this opportunity, we want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. "28 minutes on a running second half clock. Otterbein getting a free kick 30 yards away from the goal.
Swimming and diving teams are back in action on Saturday, October 29th, when they travel to Buffalo, New York for a dual meet against Buffalo State College and Fredonia State University of New York. The next home meet is on Saturday, November 5th, when they host a non-conference dual meet against Ohio Wesleyan University at 1 o'clock.
Free kick will clear the net and go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott will handle those duties.
Subbing in for Otterbein, number 7, Grace Weidenhammer.
Grace Weidenhammer checks in for Otterbein. Bella Regal checks in for the Yellow Jackets. Jillian Neal will take a seat. Scott's goal kick eventually gets to Goluboff. She's trying to get around a defender, unable to do so. It's sent out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. It's Ella Barth handling the throw-in to Sydney Rice. Rice working hard to keep possession, but it gets taken away by one of the Cardinals and sent all the way down the field. Ackerman giving chase. Good job positioning herself to possess the ball. She loses her footing, but it's controlled by the Yellow Jackets nonetheless. Schwade sends it up the field looking for Mudge. Otterbein controls it and sends it all the way down the field. And it'll be sent all the way back. It looks like Otterbein is going to get another free kick. Gets sent down to Anderson along the far sideline, working against Schwade. It's headed out by Ella Barth, up to Maddie Farrell. Farrell to Mudge, but it goes out of bounds before Mudge can track it down. Throw in for the Cardinals. Schwade challenges. There's a shot into the box. Katie Scott will catch it on the fly, run it to the top of the box, and then punt it down the field. It's just about to midfield before it gets ricocheted over to Casey Goluboff. She kicks it off of a defender and then has it taken away by Aubrey Zanella. Check that. Kaylee Holtz takes it away. Now the Yellow Jackets will take it right back. It's Goluboff with the right foot. Clemens steps in, but Rice takes it away from her. Rice with a right foot and a diving save by Swertfager to keep it out of the net. Good-looking shot by Sydney Rice. Is denied by the Otterbein keeper. It's sent across midfield down to Grace Weidenhammer, and now it's sent toward the net, but well away from it. Well wide of it, I should say. And that is a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets now. 24 minutes and 16 seconds to go here in the second half. Natalie Stewart checks back into the game for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott will send it toward midfield. Maddie Farrell trying to jump for it. Now it is controlled by Brandy Philippi up to Maddie Farrell. Farrell to Stewart. Stewart with a change of direction. Slips it to Sydney Rice. Rice looking for Regal. She had a lane. It was taken away. Now the Yellow Jackets commit a foul, so it'll be a free kick for Otterbein. Peyton Kaufman will tee it up for the free kick, and she sends it out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Barth will throw it in, and it'll get all the way down to Sydney Rice. Stewart giving chase, and it's sent out of bounds by Holtz. So it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Stewart working against Kaufman. It's sent out. Now Ackerman working for it and gets it away from one of the Cardinals up to Stewart. Stewart with the right foot. It bounces off of Clemens into a teammate of hers before the Yellow Jackets can try to track it down. And it rolls out. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. It should be a goal kick for the Cardinals. And a Wolfinger comes back for the Yellow Jackets. Haley Schwade will check out. Goal kick from Swertfager is controlled by Otterbein. Anderson battles for and wins it. And is sent down the field by Aubrey Zanella. Katie Scott comes way out from her net and sends it across midfield to Rice. Yellow Jackets trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and they need to, down by 2 with 21:37 to go here in the second half. Otterbein substitution. Summers checks out. And the ball is kicked out of bounds into the Yellow Jacket bench by a Yellow Jacket. It'll be a throw in for the Cardinals. Casey Regal checks in for Otterbein, as does Ava Bruns. Bruns saw some action in the first half, picked up an assist. Mary Litzinger comes back for the Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets will take it away from the Cardinals. Ackerman with the ball now. Right foot's a pass up the field to Litzinger. Litzinger with the header over to Sydney Rice. Rice lead pass to Litzinger. Litzinger working hard and has it go out of bounds off of her. Smart play by the Otterbein defender to kick it out of bounds off of Litzinger to get the throw in for the Cardinals. Throw in misses everybody and goes out of bounds. So it's a throw in now for the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger to Sydney Rice. Rice works around one defender, working around a second, trying to get into the box with possession of the ball. Has it taken away by one of the Cardinals. Rice tries to take it back. Beautiful slide tackle. And now gets it to Litzinger. Litzinger can't hold on to it, though. Regal heads it back towards the box. Now it's cleared again by Cameron Earl. Regal had it for a second, but lost it. And Otterbein with a hard charge up the field. Ackerman in a foot race for the ball. She'll slip a pass over to Katie Scott. Scott up the field. It's taken away by Earl. Earl left foots a pass into the box, but it's too long. And Otterbein's going to get a free kick out of this. The official felt that Earl's pass into the box was affected by some physical contact from the Yellow Jackets, so it is a free kick from 30 yards out. And it's sent toward the net, but high and wide by Peyton Kaufman. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. While we have a moment, want to remind you that today's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria of Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for all of your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Maddie Farrell with possession of the ball for the Yellow Jackets. She lofted a pass down the field to Stewart, left it a little bit too long. It'll be a goal kick coming up for the Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets, number 8, Jillian Neal.
Jillian Neal back for the Yellow Jackets. Goal kick battled for
The basketball team opens the 2022-2023
and won
season on Saturday, November 12th.
by Otterbein. Last touched by Litzinger of the Yellow Jackets. So that will result in a throw-in for Otterbein. Rice sends a pass over to Farrell. Farrell catches one right in the shin, and she is slow to get up. She's walking down the field, which is a good sign, but I think she's a little frustrated too, as she may have had an open lane to get the ball up the field. But nonetheless, the Yellow Jackets hold possession. It's Stewart getting around a defender into the box. Keeps it inbounds along the goal line, and that forces Swertfager to come out of the net and dive on the ball. Stewart did a wonderful job to hold possession of that around 2 defenders and keep the ball in bounds, which is why Swertfager wasted no time and said, I'm just going to take care of this myself because this is starting to get a little dicey. Yellow Jackets take it away momentarily before Otterbein can step up. Now Maddie Farrell fights for the ball, and Farrell's going to get whistled for a foul. She put 2 hands on Holtz and would not let go. That results in the free kick. Free kick by Otterbein is headed away by Paige Ackerman. Now kicked up the field by Maddie Farrell. It'll be last touched by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Cardinals. Block shot attempt by the Yellow Jackets there. And now they're challenging for possession of the ball. But Earl is able to take it away. Slip a pass far side left to Anderson. Anderson trying to get a step on the defender. Unable to do so. And it goes out of bounds along the goal line, so it'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets as we are at the 15-minute mark of the second half with Otterbein leading 2-0. Bailey Hall checks into the match, and Natalie Stewart will check out. Katie Scott with the goal kick. Jillian Neal controls it over to Paige Ackerman. Ackerman up the field to Bailey Hall. Hall has it taken away by the Cardinals. Bailey Zanella will send it left side. Anderson with a quick change of direction. Gets around one defender, trying to get around a second. She has great quickness, especially with the ball. She can get around a defender in any kind of way on the field. And that change of direction on a dime with that speed is very dangerous. And it's one of the reasons why she's the second leading goal scorer and second leading playmaker on this team, as she has picked up 3 goals and 3 assists with 9 points on the year.
Number 19, Brandy Philippi.
Brandy Philippi back for the Yellow Jackets. Otterbein has possession. Lindsay Whitmore checks into the game for the Cardinals. Sent wide of the net. It'll result in a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott with the kick. And it's headed back towards the net by Otterbein, back towards the Yellow Jacket side of midfield, I should say, out of bounds. That'll result in a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger handles that. It gets flipped over to Philippi. Philippi with a lead pass It's knocked away. Ella Barth tracks it down. Back to Philippi. And it is blocked by Whitmore. Whitmore over to Anderson. Anderson hustling down the field, 2-on-3. Good lead pass is broken up by Paige Ackerman, and Katie Scott will scoop it up and punt it toward midfield, where it will bounce and be kicked away by one of the Cardinals. And stepping up is Jillian Neal for the Yellow Jackets. Gets over to Litzinger off the foot of Rice. Litzinger trying to create some space for herself. Has it taken away again by the Cardinals. The pass will get sent up the field to Whitmore. It's taken away by Maddie Farrell, looking for Bailey Hall on the lead pass. It is knocked away by the Cardinals and controlled by Weidenhammer. Ackerman takes it away momentarily but can't find a teammate. Otterbein with it again. Anderson trying to slip a pass to a teammate, and there will be a whistle on Otterbein. So it'll be a kick for the Yellow Jackets. Free kick for the Yellow Jackets handled by Katie Scott. She gets the ball up to Jillian Neal. Neal looking for Hall on a lead pass. Left it long. It goes out of bounds. It's a throw-in coming up for the Cardinals. We're under 11 minutes to go here in the second half with Otterbein up 2-0 over the Yellow Jackets.
Congratulate women's soccer midfielder Mary Litzinger of Sardinia.
Ackerman tracks it down, slips it to Barth. Barth over to Bailey Hall. Hall trips but keeps possession of the ball. Trying to get it past one defender. Unable to do so. It's sent out of bounds by the Cardinals. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Substitution as Mudge comes back for the Yellow Jackets, and Mudge gives some instructions to Ella Barth before the throw-in. And it is controlled by Jillian Neal. Neal over to Rice. Rice with a left-footed shot, wide left of the net. It'll be a goal kick coming up for Otterbein. Along with Sydney Mudge, Haley Schwade has checked in to the game for the Yellow Jackets. Swertfager with the kick, and it gets redirected by Jillian Neal. Randy Philippi steps up and takes possession for the Yellow Jackets. Over to Litzinger on the right side. Litzinger has it taken away by Aubrey Zanella. Zanella up the left sideline with the pass. Neal trying to battle for it. It's Ava Bruns sending it towards the net where Katie Scott corrals it and punts it to the left side of the field to Ella Barth. Barth just across midfield controls it. Left a lead pass for Sydney Mudge, and it was a little bit too long. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a throw-in for the Otterbein Cardinals, I should say. It's knocked out of bounds by Brandy Philippi, so it'll be another throw-in for the Cardinals. 8:39 and counting to go here in the second half. Ball was headed out of bounds by the Cardinals, but Maddie Farrell with the push. That'll result in a free kick for the Cardinals. And that's Kaufman handling the free kick. Good move by Ava Bruns to get into the box. Right-footed pass is taken away by Schwade. Trying to get the ball to Mudge. Mudge had Holtz step in between her and the ball. Just flat out took it away from her. Gets it back to Bruns. Bruns with a right-footed kick into the side of the net. That's a goal kick coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott with the right foot. Mudge misses on the header. Ella Barth trying to track it down. It goes out of bounds off of Barth. Holtz with the throw-in. Leads it to Ava Bruns. And now Jillian Neal really giving a battle to the two Cardinals to take it away. Up to Sydney Rice, not a Maddie Farrell. Lead pass for Ella Barth. Barth with good position on the ball. She'll track it down just after it crosses the line, though. It'll result in a goal kick for the Cardinals, rather. Over to Kaufman it goes. Now she'll send it across the field left side. Cameron Earl back for the Cardinals. She has one of the two tallies tonight. Otterbein sends it out of bounds. It's a throw-in coming up for the Yellow Jackets. It's Schwade handling the throw-in. Jillian Neal putting in a whole lot of work to keep possession of the ball, and she'll draw a foul on one of the Cardinals. That'll give the Yellow Jackets a free kick. 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go here in the second half. Schwade with the ball. Sends it down to Barth. Barth heads it towards the box, and it is swept out by Casey Regal. And she'll send it out of bounds, resulting in a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade gets it to Ella Barth. And it is knocked out by the Cardinals. So it will be another throw-in for the Yellow Jackets to Ella Barth. Trying a crossing pass. Is hit away by the Cardinals. Now Ackerman giving a chase to it and keeps it alive to Mudge. Mudge right foots it down the field for Farrell. Farrell having to work hard to try and keep possession, and she's unable to do so. Her and one of the Cardinals get tangled up, and that was Casey Regal. And Farrell's going to get whistled for the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Cardinals. Kaufman handles the kick, and it's headed away by Ackerman. The ball finds its way back to Ackerman. She sends it up the field for Barth, just a little bit too tall. Now Philippi will send it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Cardinals. Throw-in gets collected by Bailey Zanella. It's headed away by one of the Yellow Jackets to Maddie Farrell. Farrell with some good dribbling skills gets the ball up the field to Ella Barth. Now to Sydney Rice. Rice stops, then slips a pass to Barth. It's kicked away by one of the Cardinals, and it will be taken by Behringer. Leaves it for Mudge, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Cardinals. 3:48 to go, and Otterbein well on their way to making it 4 straight wins in the OAC as they hold a 2-0 lead late in this second half. Really, the Yellow Jackets haven't had many opportunities at all against Otterbein. Ella Barth gets around a defender trying to slip a pass into the box. It's kicked out by Otterbein. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the Yellow Jackets. It's Rice trying to hold on to it. It's kicked away. But Neal will track it down and send it back toward the box. It'll skip past 2 Yellow Jackets before Brandy Philippi gets it to Sydney Rice. Rice with a stutter step around one defender. Sends it back to Ella Barth. Now it goes all the way back to Schwade. Schwade with a change of direction over to Ackerman. Ackerman right foots it down the field. And it is taken away by the Cardinals, where Jillian Neal will step up and take it right back for the Yellow Jackets over to Philippi. Now to Schwade. Schwade up to Farrell. Farrell looking for Litzinger on the lead pass. Left it too long. It'll be a goal kick coming up for the Cardinals. 2:25 to go here in the second half. Otterbein with a 2-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets. Well, we have this opportunity. I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. And Antonio's Pizzeria, Middleburg Heights, the official pizza sponsor of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Thank you for your support of BW Athletics and its student athletes. Otterbein with a throw-in. 1:20 to go here in the game. And the Yellow Jackets pressing against the Cardinals and force the ball out of bounds off of Otterbein. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade up to Farrell. And foul will be called against one of the Otterbein Cardinals. So that will result in a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. 1 minute and counting to go here in the second half. Schwade sends it down the field. It's headed away by one of the Cardinals. Schwade hustling after it, and she will get possession for the Yellow Jackets. Back to Ackerman. Ackerman tees it up. It's deflected towards Philippi. Philippi to Sydney Rice. Rice looking for a lead pass to either Ella Barth or Mary Litzinger, and Barth trying to track it down. It's kicked out of bounds now by one of the Otterbein defenders. Schwade on the throw in. 20 seconds to go here in this game. Litzinger has it. Trying to get away from one Otterbein defender. Left foot's a shot toward the net. It goes wide right of the net. 10 seconds to go, and Otterbein will improve their winning streak to 4 straight as Swertfager kicks it away to burn off the final seconds of the clock. The Otterbein Cardinals claim a 2-0 victory over Baldwin Wallace. Otterbein improves to 8-4-2 overall. They are now 4-1-1 in Ohio Athletic Conference play. They are 4-2-1 away from home. BW falls to 9-7 overall on the season, 4-4 at home here at Tressel Field. They are now 4-3 in Ohio Athletic Conference play and 2-2 in Ohio Athletic Conference home games. Otterbein now on a 4-game winning streak as they have won their last 3 road games after tying Ohio Northern in scoreless on October 5th. Otterbein has now beaten Muskingum 3-0 on the road, John Carroll 1-0 on the road, BW 2-0 on the road, and Heidelberg 1-0 at home. The 4-game winning streak for the Baldwin Wallace women's team is halted with this 2-0 defeat. That'll do it for tonight's game. I want to thank the athletic communications departments for both teams in helping make this webcast possible. Also, thank you to you, the Yellow Jacket and Cardinal fans who tuned in to watch tonight's game here from Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium. Before we get on out of here, I want to send our condolences to longtime Ohio Athletic Conference Sports Information Director Lenny Reich. We lost a good one this week as Lenny succumbed to his battle with cancer, leaving behind his wife Helen and daughter Caroline. We wish them and the entire Reich family and the extended family here in the Ohio Athletic Conference nothing but the best, and our condolences on the passing of Lenny Reich. So that'll do it for us here at Baldwin Wallace. It is a 2-0 victory for the Otterbein Cardinals over the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Thank you for watching tonight's webcast at bwyellowjackets.com. This is Matt Florjancic saying make today better than yesterday and make tomorrow better than today. Have a great night, everybody, and go Jackets.